He doesn't make a lot of threes, yet he has no problems getting a bucket. Thompson went from a player with high potential on a good team to someone with superstar potential on a great team. He went from being a role player to someone that you can run plays for, like his winner against the Celtics. Yes, that was a game winner against the defending champion. That moment was one of many examples from this season of Thompson showing the world just how talented he is. In that game against the Celtics, he finished with 33 points, 9 rebounds, and 4 assists as the Rockets showed that they're a team to look out for. In his post-match interview, he said that he felt like Kobe. That shows you how confident he's becoming. What's crazy is that even before the game against the Celtics, he had gotten a 23-point triple-double against the #1 seed Cleveland Cavaliers. This is what makes Thompson so good. We have seen young players put together good performances against bad teams, but to do what he's doing as a second-year player against the best teams in the league is super impressive. In games where there were all-stars like Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland, it was Thompson who stood out the most. That's not easy to do. What makes Thompson so good is that even so early in his career, he can impact the game in a multitude of ways. Just don't ask him to shoot too much yet. Yes, his jump shot does need some work, but with all of his other qualities, he's still playing at an elite level. Handling the ball, no problem, he can do that. Look at him bringing up the ball against the Lakers. He does a quick crossover, and then you see his best quality, his athleticism. He jumps super high, with Anthony Davis, a fantastic defender on his left, and Austin Reeves bumping him on his right. But despite the traffic in his way, he still makes the contested layup. He is way too quick. If any defender is left on an island with Thompson, that brother is getting torched. Alec Burks found this out the hard way as Thompson just flew by him to make an easy layup. You cannot guard someone that changes his speed that quickly. Thompson is able to quickly accelerate from what seems like a light jog to a full-on sprint in seconds. Look at this example right here. Teams have tried to sag off him because they know he isn't a shooter. That's what Kyle Kuzma is doing in this clip. But the problem with this approach is that it's giving this much space to a player as athletic as Thompson. As a result, Thompson punishes the team in a different way. Instead of trying to hit the open jumper, he sprints into the paint and hits Kuzma with a Euro step. Once again, even though there was some contact, Thompson was still able to finish off the play. There are so many examples of how much of a freak athlete he is that other players have begun discussing it. Steven Adams was full of praise.
No, one of a kind, buddy. I haven't played with anyone like this.
Now, all teammates praise each other, but you have to remember, Adams played with prime Westbrook and John Morant. MVP Westbrook, the man who was flying around dunking on everyone because he was so pissed that KD left him. Adams watched that for an entire season, and he's still saying that Thompson's athleticism is on another level. Now, obviously, it goes without saying, Thompson has a lot of work to do to get anywhere even near John Westbrook, but from a speed perspective, he is stupidly quick. It's something that even JJ Redick had noticed after Thompson's performance against the Lakers. The players in the NBA are already in the 1%, but Thompson, he's in the 1% of the 1%. Those are the words of a man who played for 15 seasons in the NBA, still being shocked by how athletic Thompson is. Combine his speed with his incredible jumping and you can see why he's considered a freak of nature. His qualities really shine the most on the defensive end. This guy makes defensive plays that I have only ever seen from a pure lockdown build in NBA 2K. In this clip, he isn't even on the screen, yet he comes in, jumps, and blocks the 3 from Drew Holiday. Now for most players, the block alone would be a crazy highlight, but Thompson, he manages to still keep the ball in play, turning what seemed like an open 3 for the Celtics into a transition opportunity for the Rockets. Also, peep that shot clock. He was doing all of this towards the end of a tightly contested fourth quarter. His ability to block is insane because not only is he super good at getting chase down blocks, but he's also an excellent help defender. To be able to protect the rim at 6'7" is quite impressive. Then on the ball, he's just as good, if not better. Here's him defending and contesting a literal 7-footer in Evan Mobley. He doesn't even break a sweat. In fact, I think if we freeze the clip right here, you can see that Thompson rose even higher than Mobley. He literally jumped higher than him. Now if you thought that was cool, wait until you see this clip. 2-on-1 fast break. Seems like an easy bucket, right? Well, what should have been a fundamental layup ended up turning into yet another highlight reel for Thompson as he jumps up, practically levitates, and blocks the shot. You just know that Jordan Poole is never passing again in that situation. What's crazy is that Thompson is making these type of plays all the time. The kid has an unlimited work rate. He just never seems to get tired. Look at what he's doing to John Morant. He gets up so high to make the block that the Grizzlies were actually asking for a goaltending call. Ime wants the Rockets to be quick and aggressive defensively, constantly hounding the opposition like the bad boy Pistons used to. Well, no one is better at doing that than Thompson. He he is consistently defending top players, chasing down guards, contesting bigs, and showing no signs of slowing down while doing all of it. Thompson's rebounding abilities have also become a standout aspect of his game, which is particularly impressive given his position and height. Standing at 6'7", Thompson had been averaging 8.1 rebounds per game. Ever since he was added to the starting five, his rebound numbers got even higher. He was averaging over 11 rebounds a game, which is crazy numbers for someone who doesn't play center. Like, even if a 7-footer was averaging double-digit boards, he would get praise. So now think about how crazy it is that a 6'7" guy is getting those type of numbers. What makes Thompson such a good rebounder is that not only is he athletic, but he has a great understanding of positioning and timing. He often anticipates the trajectory of missed shots, allowing him to secure rebounds even against taller opponents. He has this instinct of knowing exactly where the ball is going to be, something that Dennis Rodman had. That was the reason why Rodman was so good at rebounding despite being undersized for his position. Thompson's ability to get offensive rebounds is super vital to the Rockets' offense. It gives them so many second chance opportunities. Either Thompson himself can grab the board and lay it back up, or he can pass it out to an open shooter. In a game against the Cavs, he had 9 offensive boards. Do you guys understand how insane it is to do that against a team that has 2 7-footers in Mobley and Allen? Now, of course, I just glazed them the whole video, but the common question will be, what about his shooting? On one hand, if this guy gets a reliable jumper, then the league might be cooked. Combining his athleticism, defending, and rebounding with shooting, we might be looking at the next Kawhi Leonard. If you guys remember, Kawhi was someone who was phenomenal defensively when he came into the league, but there were concerns about his shooting mechanics. Now again, I'm not saying he's the next Kawhi, but developing a reliable jumper is something that can be developed, unless you're Ben Simmons. But for now, let's just assume his shooting doesn't get better. Well, what then? Well, that's fine too, because he can still be an elite player in the league even without good shooting. He just has to play more intelligent, which we have already seen from him in action. Rather than forcing bad threes, he's learning how to attack space effectively. If a defender sags off of him, like Kuzma did, he uses it to build momentum for an easy drive. Instead of forcing bad threes, he leans into his strength, getting to the rim. He's also developing a mid-range game, adding floaters, turnarounds, and post moves to his locker. Look at what Ja Morant, Fox, and Westbrook had done in their careers. None of them were great shooters early on, yet all found ways to dominate the game using their speed and finishing ability. The sky is the limit for this guy, and I'm very curious to see how he develops. For now though, Rockets games are a must watch, not just for Thompson's athleticism, but for what the organization is doing as a whole. To see Ime Udoka's blueprint, a step-by-step guide on how he plans to turn the Houston Rockets into champions, you gotta watch this video right here.